Japanese Tales. The Selfless Thief. Having no settled place to live, a Lotus Sutra devotee named Suncho wandered here and there as the spirit moved him. When he saw someone in pain, the pain became his own, and the same with another's joy. The sight of the capital's two prisons, one in the east of the city and one in the west, caused Suncho deep sorrow. He understood that the prisoners had been sentenced for their crimes, but he still wanted to help them by planting in them the seed of future Buddhahood. Otherwise, if they died in prison, they would be reborn among the beasts or starving ghosts, or even worse, squarely in hell. He would have to commit a crime to get himself arrested and sent to jail so that he could chant the sutra for the prisoners. Suncho broke into a mansion, stole a golden bowl, and went straight to a gambling den to show the bowl off. The gamblers were surprised to recognize it as one that had just been reported stolen, and the tip soon reached the authorities. Suncho was arrested, interrogated, and thrown in jail. Of course, this was just what he wanted. He started right in, chanting the sutra for the inmates, who wept to hear him and reverently touched their foreheads to the ground. When word of his imprisonment reached the lords and ladies of the court, they informed the chief of the imperial police that Suncho was a holy man and urged his release. The chief of police, for his part, had a dream. The Bohustava, Fugen, shining and riding a white elephant, came to the prison with a bowl of rice. He told the guards that he was bringing rice, as he did every day, to Suncho, who was imprisoned there. On awakening, the chief of police had Suncho released immediately. Although he got himself into jail half a dozen times, Suncho never managed to stay there for very long. One day, the police caught him again, and this time had a meeting about him. They were sure by now that he was just a hardened criminal, and that thanks to repeated release, he was simply enjoying a free license to steal. He would have to be dealt with more severely. They decided to cut off his kneecaps and make sure that he served a good, long sentence. A corps of officers marched Suncho off to one of the imperial riding grounds to execute the punishment. But Suncho chanted the Lucha Sutra so movingly that they dissolved in tears and let him go. Again, the chief of police had a dream. A beautiful boy in court dress told him that Suncho stole in only order to get into jail and save the prisoners there. This is his seventh arrest, the boy reminded the dreamer. He might as well be a Buddha himself. The chief of police was even more deeply impressed than before. In time, Suncho died by the horse stalls on the same riding ground where he had once nearly come to grief. Since there was no one to look after him, the body lay there unattended, but the neighborhood began to hear every night a voice chanting the Lotus Sutra. Nobody knew where it came from, and another holy man took Suncho's skeleton away deep, deep into the mountains, and the voice was never heard again.